Okay, everyone. So I guess let's start, and I'm sure everyone will start joining during the next few minutes. I see a lot of people still logging in. So first and always, as you know, I'm always welcoming you all to the Cindy Show. This is a space for SysAid customers like yourselves to pause, learn, and sharpen how you work with the platform. Every other week, we'll meet live for a 1 hour session to dive into real SysAid use cases, and I will share best practices and advice. You'll receive hands-on guidance to strengthen your SysAid admin skills, and of course, get your questions answered in real time. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Cindy Civan, SysAid Senior Director of Customer Success, and my goal is very simple: to help you unlock measurable value from SysAid and to make sure it works for your business goals. So I haven't shared a little bit about myself for a little while. I'm almost at SysAid for 9 years, and I think a lot of you know that I came from the professional services team, and I love being in customer success. But I have to say, learning the system and understanding how to use it is so important, and that's why I'm sharing all of my knowledge with you guys. And it's always a good thing to have you join me. So if we go on just onto the next slide, you're welcome to jump into the conversation at any point. Please use the chat function. My team will be here throughout the session to help you and to respond, and I'll address questions live whenever possible as well. You'll also see some questions coming up before I actually get to the demo today. Your input is really so valuable to me, and it really helps me shape future sessions, and it also helps me shape the current session that we're in as well. So before we get started, I want to say thank you to my amazing team for supporting the session behind the scenes, and to all of you for taking the time to be here today. I really appreciate it, and I'm super happy to have you with us. Okay, so today we're focusing on creating SysAid reports and dashboards. You'll see how to set them up using best practices with practical examples you can apply directly in your own environment. And if you want, you can have your own environment open up and create the reports with me. If not, watch me focus, and we'll obviously send you the recording. Okay, so before we begin the demo and before I jump into the reports, I have a few questions that I'd like for you to please answer in the chat. It would really mean a lot to me because it's going to help me in my session, like I already mentioned. Okay, so firstly, what is the most important report for you? And I'm going to be creating a few reports today. So I want to make sure that the reports that I'm creating are going to be helpful to you. So what's the most important report for you? Do you want to see, for example, time to respond, time to resolve? Do you want to see anything pertaining to categories? Do you want to see if a report, for example, which service records are in breach? Okay, thank you. I see Lelani. So I'm going to give you just a few minutes, and I'm just going to try and take a quick squiz at the chat while this is all coming in. Time to resolve, okay. CSAT, okay, amazing. Stale tickets haven't been updated in 5 days or more, okay. Time to resolve. An overview of what each of the IT techs has been working on for the week. I mostly use reports. First contact resolution, time of resolution categories, tickets by category, time to resolve. Okay, I see that's coming up quite a lot. Total time on activities, user satisfaction. I'm so glad that you typed in user satisfaction. I'm not sure if most of you were on my Cindy show from 2 weeks ago, but we had George, who was on the show you all how to create an emoji survey on your notifications to your end users. And I recall I promised that I would show you how to see the CSAT report. So thank you for reminding me. I was going to do it, but thank you though. And resolution breached. Okay, I think I've got a really good idea of what reports we're going to do. Irrespective, if we don't do the report, I can guarantee you that after you leave today, you will be able to create your own report, and you'll be able to play around with the specific fields and reports and so forth. Okay, I have another question. Let's talk about dashboards. Now we're going to go into the SysAid dashboard today, and I'm going to show you how to customize that. What's important to you to see from a dashboard perspective? If you can write in the chat, that would also be helpful. And I'm keeping you very engaged today in the beginning of the session, and keeping your hands and fingers warm. SLAs, user satisfaction, resolving time. Okay, like what about open tickets? That's exactly what I was going to say, Chris. You read my mind. Total open tickets, not yet assigned category over the last 7 days. Beautiful. Due dates, I cannot get that to work. Same as Chris. Okay, open and close tickets per tier. Okay, great. That's using custom filters, SLAs. Amazing. Okay, this is pretty much what I had planned for us today. And then the last thing I wanted to ask you all is, have you created a SysAid report before? It's just a simple yes or no. I'd just like to try and understand. Yes, yes. Okay, so you're all quite familiar. No, there's some no's. Yes, lots. Okay, amazing. And hopefully some of the reports that I show you today will obviously add value to those who have created reports before. You've been shown once. No, but you've played around with Power BI. Okay, so today we're going to be focusing on SysAid reports specifically. We're not going into BI. And because this is something that you all have, it's the tool. I want you to get the most value out of using the tool. And let's start off. Okay, so thank you, everyone. I'm going to share. I'm going to just stop sharing this over here. Now, I know that some of you are on Spaces and some of you are on Classic. If you are in the cloud and you are on Classic, I say it probably every week, but you should be on Spaces by now. I hope you are. There's so many things to take advantage of in Spaces. And if you are on premise, you should be on Spaces. Why? Because of all of our AI and the most amazing capabilities, of course. So let's start off and let's go into reports, and I'll show you. I've got two demo environments available, so I can just show you all how to use it if you are in Classic. And I see Tamizgen, you are. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go into analytics, and you're going to go into reports. Okay, and if you are in Classic, you're going to go into analytics and you're going to go into reports. Okay, from here on, as you can see, both screens are the same. So all you need to do, if anyone's on Classic, how can we open Spaces? Pam, I'm going to let one of my team assist you with that. We might need to help you like with customer care or so forth if you do not know. Okay, so let's start off. Let's create a report. So first things first. This is when you're going to create a report. Now, if you look at SysAid, there's a lot of out-the-box reports. These are the reports that have already been created. You don't even have to do anything. If you want to see, for example, categories of the longest service record time, honestly, you can literally click on any of the reports and work on them. Okay, and again, you can search for them and so forth. But what I want to show you is the first report. I want to show you the satisfaction, the survey report. Now, let's go into the satisfaction. There's 3 different types of reports. They're all out the box. You do not have to create it. It's already here. If you just search satisfaction, you're going to see it. And I'm going to click on the satisfaction by administrator, because that's usually where you want to see, how your administrators are doing and what the CSAT is for them. So let's click on it. And let's put this in for all tickets, not just incidents. Of course, you can apply custom filters over here. I'm going to put in a date range. Because it's my test account, I need to go back about a year to get some real data. And you want to click on the show comment details, because let's just say, for example, one of your customers have actually written a comment. You obviously want to be able to see the comment. You can view it in Excel or PDF. I'll just run it in PDF for now, and you literally just run the report. And as my report opens, let's go in and let's open it up. Okay, so here you can see, for example, John Smith had 3 responses with an average of 4, because my emoji survey is obviously from 1 to 5. And nobody else, unfortunately, had any responses, okay, which wouldn't necessarily be the case. So let's look at John Smith. John Smith happens to be me. I'm logged in as John Smith. That's my name. And you can see, for example, what the average is. So you can see the average is 4. And then the reason why I set you to check the comments is here, because you can see all the comments that have been created by the customer. And you can see it also links to the service record number as well, because let's just say, for example, unfortunately, if there is one that the answer is, of course, there can be a 1 or a bad. Unfortunately, it can happen, and it does happen. So you can obviously just go straight into the service record and actually see what's going on in the ticket. And that is simply the report. It's very easy, very quick. If you guys have got any questions about this report, please type your questions in the chat. Can this be broken down by group? Yes, absolutely. That's a good question. So what you can do is, if you do want it to be by specific group, you can go into the expression builder and say, for example, the admin group is, let's just say, IT support, create the filter, and then run the report. So that's exactly how you would do it. You would need to go into custom filter. Maybe you want to use your expression builder. Maybe you want to do it per specific category. But there is actually a report for category anyway. But you've got so many expression filters that you can use here. So feel free, if it's a customers that you've got on a specific agreement, you can pull the report for that as well. Okay. I hope that answered your question. What about a chart form? So for this specific report, there isn't a chart. Well, there is actually a chart. If you saw in the PDF, this is the chart over here, but this is how the report is. Okay. Okay, good. Let's move on to report creation if no one has any other questions, and I don't see any other questions. Okay. Now, let's go back. I'm going to just close this off as well, and I'll keep both of these open. Okay, so we go into all reports now. If you haven't found the report out of the whole list of reports that you see here, this is where I want to show you how to create a report. Now, if I'm not going to create the report that you want exactly, you'll see how I'm doing it, so you'll be able to customize according to how you want it. So let's create a report. You're going to click on Create New. And so create a new report. Now, there are different types of reports. Now, I saw some of you said you wanted to see the activities per your administrators. So if that's what you want to do, you must create the service record activity report. All right. In this case, I mean, you can create an action item report if you're obviously working with workflows, but you can create assets. Here's everything. But the most type of reports that you're going to create is pertained to the service record. And let's give this a name. I'll just call it Cindy Show. And I'm going to call it, it's going to be time to repair or resolve. Okay. And it asks the category, where do I want to save it? And I'm saving it in the demo report. So you're going to see it's going to be at the top of my page. And who do I want this report accessible to? Right now, I'll say all groups. But if you're creating a report specifically and you only want it accessible to a specific group, of course, you can make it accessible to a group. And you select Done. Okay, now, if we go to the top, there's the demo reports. And here is my Cindy Show report. So you click on it. Now, there's one thing that you're all going to be dreaming about tonight. And when I talk about the green pen, it's the green pen. Okay, and you're going to see why the green pen is the most important thing when creating a report. You can see I've got 2 tabs here. Now I need to bring in extra fields into this report. So what do I have to do first? To get the data tab, you actually have to click on the green pen. All right. And let's all count how many times I say green pen in the Cindy show today, because you're going to see it's going to be a lot. Okay, so you click on the green pen and you can see now my data tab is now visible. Now the data tab is what fields do I want to see in the report? So the report has got these fields in as you create it for the first time. Now let's just say, for example, because I'm pulling the report for time to repair and time to resolve, I want to find that field. And I mean, I could type it in, but I'm so used to it. I go all the way down and I find time to repair or time to respond. Okay, not resolve. Time to repair and resolve is the same thing. Time to respond is how long is the administrator taking to respond to the ticket, and time to repair is how long is it taking from start to finish. Like how long does it take for the ticket to be resolved from start to finish? Okay, so I want to check both. So what I want to do, I simply just drag them in. You can see it's been brought in. And then I'm also going to I just brought in time to first timer, time to repair, and let's bring in time to respond. You'll see because it's my test account, everything's replicated exactly the same. But of course, and we have gone into timers before. So if you haven't seen the timer Cindy show, you want to make sure your timers are set up correctly so that you start recording this 100% correctly. We can always send you a copy of that recording. Let us know. Okay, type in the chat. All right, so now we've brought in the fields that we want. Now, I might not want to see categories in this. So if I want to remove a field, you literally just remove one of the columns. And I'm going to remove this column as well. It's not important. The request user, no, I'm going to remove it as well. And I'm also going to remove the priority. Okay, so it's very, very easy how to remove. Thank you. We'll take your details, you seal, and we'll send you the recording, or we'll send you a link to the recordings. We've got a great knowledge base on our website that you can see as well. Okay, so now we can see the time to repair and time to respond. But what I want to do is I want to summarize this field. Why do I want to summarize this field? Because I want to see how many tickets. I want to see the minimum, the maximum, and the average. So check all of these boxes. Best practice. Okay, done. And I'm going to do the same for this field as well. We want to summarize, and you're going to see why we want to do that. Okay, let's check all of the boxes and select done. All of you who are asking for the recording, David or Gavin, if you could just look in the knowledge base and just send the link in the chat so that everyone can watch the timers, because it'll, like I said, it'll help you greatly. Okay, now I've added in the summarize, and you're going to see why that's important. But first, what I'm going to do is, before I move on, I'm going to save my report. You always need to make sure that you save the report. Now, what's super important, because I'm pulling this report and I want to see how long it's taking for my administrators to respond, what you want to do is you want to group it by this field. Process manager is your administrator. Okay, so you want to group it by this field over here, so that when we run the report, we're going to be able to see, this is the summary, and we're going to see the summary of each process manager / administrator. Okay, now let's save it. Okay, so great. We've done the data part of this is the first part of the report. Now what we're going to do, let's go to filter. Now, what's the next word that I'm all going to ask you that you're dreaming about? It's the, ta-da, it's the green pen. Okay, you can see there's nothing that I'm typing here. Green pen, thank you, Jeff. Amazing, thank you. You can see nothing's happening here, because what you got to do now is you got to go to the green pen and uncheck the green pen. Now you can see that data field has now left. And now I can actually filter this report according to, maybe you want to do this over the last 7 days, the last 30 days, the last year. You can customize the date range. Okay, so that's one of the things that you can do here. You can pull this report specifically if you want to maybe do it for a specific group. So I'm going to show you how to do that using the filter. So let's just say we want to do it for a specific group. We're going to say add new filter. And then I'm going to type in admin group. And you can see I'm going to select admin group, click on select. And the admin group is IT support. Okay. Maybe you want to do another admin group as well at the same time. So let's say let's type in admin group again. Admin group. Select is, let's just say tier 2 support. And then you select done. Now, I love that it did this. What happened? Because the filter expression is incorrect. It's not 1 and 2. You never have a ticket that's assigned to 2 groups at the same time. We all know that cannot be done in SysAid. So what you got to do is you have to use the expression 1 or 2. And I hope I've taught some of you something new today. A 1 or 2, and then you're going to see my report is now going to start populating. Okay, so now we're starting to customize it. And even though I've done the last 7 days, let's just do, let's actually do it for the last quarter. Select done. And what happened here? Maybe there was nothing. There's no data to show. Okay, let's just keep it the last 7 days. It's because my demo gets actually updated every single day. Okay, so the last 7 days, amazing. Let's save it. Okay, so don't forget, if you don't see anything in the basic filter, you can go into the advanced filter and you can go in and you can add, maybe you want to see a specific status. You can also add in a specific status. I'll keep this in here for now so that you can all see, but you can just go in and add new filters. But don't forget, the expression needs to be 100% correct. Okay, now we're going to the third part of our report, and that is the layout. And again, once again, you can see none of this is working. So now you got to click on the green pen again. All right, so just to summarize the green pen, all right, for the data and the layout tab, I don't know what happened to my report. That's why I always save it. For the data and the layout tab, you always want to make sure the green pen is checked. And for the filter tab, it needs to be unchecked. Okay, when in doubt, just click the green pen and you'll just work it out. Okay, so we're going to the layout tab. Let's click the green pen. Now, you can use a graph if you wanted to. And you can select how you want to do the graph. Do you want to do it by request per incident? Do you want a pie graph? Do you want a, this is a bar graph, I think it's called. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's called a bar graph. Trend, it depends what you want to do. But for our demo, I'm just going to use a bar graph, but I don't want to see the service record type. I actually want to see it per administrator. Okay. As you can see over here, you can play around with it. You do want to include the list. The list is all of the data. So if you didn't include the list, it would literally just print or run this graph. So you do always want to include the list because this is where all of the data is. Okay. Now let's go in and do what's the chart position? Do you want it first on the page? Do you want it last on the page? Do you want it landscape? Do you want the graph medium, large? It's all the data is here, and you can play around with some of the other thresholds. I hope you've all had some experience just generally with graphs. If not, just play around and you'll see like some of the fields here. Like if it's a pie chart, like some of the fields disappear. So let's just go back to where we were. Some of them all become alive if the graph can actually aggregate according to what you want. Now we want it landscape, and you can have a format of PDF, Excel, or CSV. I'm going to show you PDF because I'll tell you why. Because what you can do is you can add on the cover page. You can customize the cover page, and I'll just call it Cindy Show, Time to Resolve. Okay. You can also put in the header, and these are your options, the report title. You can put in, let's actually put in our logo. Let's put in the run date and time, and let's put in what page number it is. Okay, and the same thing with the footer, you've also got the option. Let's save it. Okay, now I'm getting ready to run my report. So let's run the report and let's open it up. And you can see, beautiful, I've added in, I've got the logo, I've got the name, the Cindy Show, time to repair. This is what I added in as well. And here's the report. And for some reason, it's not printing my list. Did I check that? There, I actually didn't. There we go. And I didn't do that on purpose. Okay, let's save it again. And I'm going to run the report again. And what does this report show me? Okay, let's open it up. There we go. Now we've got all of our data. So now we can see, for example, John Smith. And we know John Smith has got, okay, it's the last 5 days. But let's just say John Smith and these two, and Johnny and Larry. How come John Smith, which is me, has so many more tickets? I mean, it is double compared to Johnny and Larry. What's going on? Are these two taking too many smoke breaks? What is going on with Johnny and Larry? So this graph will tell a story, and you'll also be able to see from the time to repair and the time to respond, why is it taking Johnny Bravo 25 hours, because this is based in hours, to respond to a ticket. Okay, now, as I already told you, it's my test account, so everything's still the same. But why is it taking the person, your process manager, your administrator, so long to close it, to respond to a ticket or to resolve a ticket? All right, now you see, like, how many is it? It's 2. It's 45 hours in total, and it also gives you the average as well, as you can see. Now let's look at John Smith, which is me. It's taking me 27 hours to respond. And you can see Larry, his average is taking 17 hours to respond to a ticket. Okay, so it's actually much better than Johnny Bravo. So this, hopefully it is my test account, but it gives you quite good insights to see how long it's taking your administrators to respond to tickets and how long is it taking them to resolve. Okay. Something that I also want to show you, I'm going to just break. Just want to see if there's anything, any questions that you guys have. Is it helpful? Can you see yourselves actually, using a report like this? Gavin, I just see that you've posted the link to the previous, to the hosts and the panelists. If you could just post the link to everyone. Amazing. I like feedback, but couldn't find process manager. Process manager is your administrator. It's always in the report. So you never ever have to bring the process manager. When you're saying you couldn't find it, the process manager's over here. Oh, amazing, Adam. Thank you for the feedback. I love the feedback. And of course, if it's not so helpful, you can tell me and I can help it improve your experience. Okay, amazing. So now we've got this report. Now, I kind of think there's going to be a question coming from here, but maybe it hasn't come up yet. So let me just make sure, of course, I had saved it. What's amazing about the SysAid report is you can actually put a schedule on the report. And this is where you do it. So you go into the Cindy Show, you find it on this page, you can put a schedule on the report, and you've got 3 types of options. The first one is every day, every week, or every month. Okay, so maybe you want to do it every week, starting from Friday the 6th, and you can even put in the time at 8 p.m., for example, to send. I'll just leave it at 8:23 for the sake of this. Who do you want to send the report to? Maybe you want to send it to your CEO. Let's see if my manager's on here, Francis Lee. I want to send him this report, and I can even say, hi, Francis, please see the report attached, type in the message and select done. And you don't have to touch it. It will just send to him and to John Smith, which is myself, this time every single week at 8:23, starting from Friday. Okay, exactly the same in Classic, just to go in here. So let's just say you want to take this and put this all in a schedule. It's exactly the same in Classic. Okay, nothing changes from that perspective. All right. So that's how you put it on a schedule. Great. Now, I want to show you another report. I'm going to move just a little bit quicker because some of you had requested this report and it's important, and I still want to get into dashboard. So I'm going to move just a little bit quicker when I create this report. Now, in our previous session, with it, I think it was the day we did the timers. Can you send it to SysAid user groups instead of individuals? That's a very good question. Let's just go into IT. If you've got an email address that is a user group, like this one, hardware admin at IT, for example, yes, absolutely. If you all share an email address, you can do it. Okay, but you have to have a shared email address. It's not like an actual group per se. All right. Now, one of the things that I showed you all previously is in escalation rules. Let's just go to settings. And we created escalation rules about 2 weeks ago. And one of the escalation rules that's super helpful is for you guys to understand if your SLA has been breached. Has it expired? Now, let's go in here. And I'll just do a recap in case anyone wasn't on there. Let's just say you've got an escalation rule to let whoever it is know, the direct manager know, that it's been 1 minute past the due date. Okay, that's 1 minute. So that means the SLA has been breached. 1 minute past the due date, it means your SLA has been breached. And what happens is in the action builder, we've said that we created this rule to send the notification, but also you create this rule to pull a report to understand which tickets have been in breach. Okay, so it looks something like this. It'll be in the recording so you guys can all refer to what I'm talking about. And if it's in breach, it means the SLA has expired equals yes. Now what happens is I'm going to go and find this field in the report that I'm going to show you, and we're going to see what's actually been breached. Okay, so let me close this off. Let's go back into analytics, into reports. Close these other reports, and I'll just go into the one that I created, and we're not seeing that data tab, so I'm clicking on the green pen, which is not even funny anymore. I think I've said it about 10 times. So click on the green pen, and we want to find that field that says SLA breached. Okay, now if you don't have a field by this name, where is this field? I can always type it in. SLA expired, it means it's been breached. Okay, and I'm going to pull this into the report. Okay, so maybe there are some that are still pending, but here you can see there actually have been SLA breaches along the way. So that's why, in order for you to understand and get the SLA breach in a report, you need to make sure you've got the escalation rule set up that's 1 minute past your due date. And that would then, if it's 1 hour past your due date, it means the SLA has been breached, like I said, and it gives you a yes. So if I save the report, it's literally another field that I've added in, and it's going to help you understand Johnny Bravo, these two guys. I think someone said the one week, because I use Mary Kate. Mary Kate's I always give Mary Kate a hard time. And Mary Kate, someone said to me a few weeks ago, she needs to go on a PIP. Maybe Johnny Bravo and Larry Bird need to go on a PIP because they've answered 2 tickets in the last 7 days, and they have all been breached. Okay, so this is why it's so important. You want to have escalation rules set up correctly because you want to be able to see what your team are doing, how you can improve. All right. I went through this quite quickly because it's just a matter of bringing in another field. Does anyone have any questions with regards to the SLA breach Is it possible to send the report automatically using email? Yes, exactly. I don't know if you missed it. I showed you earlier. You can put it on a schedule. And the schedule is over here. And this is where you can send it every day, every week, every month. And any other questions, guys, please feel free to type in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go onto our dashboards. Nothing. Okay. All right. So we've done 3 reports. Firstly, satisfaction. Secondly, time to repair, time to resolve. Don't forget to work out your timers, to set your timers correctly. Even if you fix your timers today, they don't work retroactively. So you got to make sure your timers are working. And I showed you how to incorporate the SLA breached into the report. Don't forget you have to have the escalation rule. Okay. Great. So let's go into dashboards. Analytics dashboards. Now, these are the dashboards. They're all out the box. Come with SysAid. If you are not seeing the dashboards, let me actually quickly show you. You're going to go into settings, and you need to make sure that you actually have the admin permissions for the dashboards. So let's just go into admin permissions over here. And let's go into John Smith, into permissions. And you can see I have got access to the dashboard. Okay, same thing for BI Analytics. So if you're in over here, if you're in Classic, you're going to go into Tools, into Administrators, and we're going to go into this person, into Permissions, and the same thing over here, access to the dashboard. So you got to have this box checked. Okay, that's very, very important if you're not seeing the dashboards. Okay, now let's go back. Now, what I want to do is, this is what the dashboard looks like. Great, amazing. But I obviously want to show you how to customize it. So we're going to go into settings, and I'm just going to type in dashboard. And you can see I'm going to go into dashboard settings. Now, these dashboards are honestly, they're a hidden gem. Okay. And they show so much about your service desk. Like I said, it comes with a product. It's really, really good report, a good dashboard to use, not reports. Okay, just to show you, if you're in Classic, you want to actually go into here, into Analytics. Where is it? Advanced. So it's in Advanced Reporting, into Design Dashboard, and you're going to get into the exactly the same view that I'm in Spaces. Okay, all right. So now, what we want to do is let's design a new dashboard. So we're going to go into additional settings over here, and let's create a new dashboard called Cindy Show. And you can rotate the view if you want to. You can have 4 or 6 charts. Of course, I want to take advantage of all 6. And you can select if you want a dark or light. I prefer the dark, so I'm going to select the dark, and I'm going to select Apply. Now, these are my dashboards, and what I want to do is I want to now start customizing these. Okay, now you can see that there's a little green square around this first dashboard. So we're working on this very, very first one. This over here is active service records. These are all of your options for the dashboard. There aren't any other options for you to use, but I don't really believe that you're going to need many others. But these are all of the options that you've got. Okay, so in the beginning, that you guys wrote in the chat, if you're looking for specific dashboard visibility, these are your options. Okay, so active service records, absolutely. Now, what is the green, yellow, and the red? So you can customize this. So for example, if you've got anything over 100 tickets, it's saying, okay, it's going to start going orange. If you've got anything close to 250 and the maximum is 500, it's red. It means seriously, everyone now needs to be all hands on deck. You got to start, everyone's got to start working with these tickets. Hopefully you're using in the cloud, you're using our AI, and you can there'll be a lot of ticket deflection if you have repetitive tickets coming in. So just a thought for that. But for now, you can customize this. Maybe 100 and something tickets is something that's very common for you to have. So maybe you want to put the warning on a little bit higher. And maybe it becomes critical at 500 tickets, and the maximum that you get per ever is 1,000. So if I submit it, I'm going to see it's going to change the setup. So I don't know how many tickets you have in your service desk, but you can customize it according to what you want. Now, you could add in here. It doesn't necessarily have to be only for incidents. It can be for all tickets. Yes, these are all open tickets, active tickets, all open tickets. Great question. You could also put in a custom filter. Maybe you want to see all open tickets or active tickets, Nicole. That's specifically for an admin group. And we'll use our IT support, and you click on create. And let's submit it. So now you can see it kind of dropped a little bit. Obviously my mechanism here, we don't do a lot of tickets. So obviously it's even dropped a little bit further. But if you do want to add in a custom filter, if it's a category, you've got a lot of options. So of course you can. So I'm just going to change my warning just so that we can see a little bit more of what's happening here. And I'm going to submit it. Okay, so this is my first one. Now, another one that we can check is, and I think one of you had written something to do with categories. So maybe you want to check your open service records per category. Okay, so this tile over here is actually already there for you. It's the open service records per category. Again, you can put in, I'm on this one over here right now. Again, you can put in a specific, if you only want it for incidents, it's up to you. You can select the date range. I think some of you wanted to see the last 7 days, yesterday, the last month. You can obviously from the very, very beginning. You can obviously choose. And again, you can put in a custom filter and then literally submit it. Okay. Now, one thing that's really, really nice is if you wanted to see more information, for example, open service records per category, you can actually click on this. Actually, it's actually in the other view. So I'm just going to duplicate this page. So if you want to see those 10 service records, because I'm hovering my mouse to see who owns them, what's going on, if you want to get a little bit more information about this, you're going to go into analytics, you're going to move off the settings page, and you're going to go into the dashboard. Okay. And here you just click on, literally my mouse is hovered over the application, click on it, and it actually opens up those 10 service records to see what's going on. Okay, so even though you have got access to see the 10, you can actually get more data, and you can see who are they assigned to, and what's the due date. This you can see is way past due date. You can see a lot more information. Okay. All right, so let's see if there's any questions. Dashboard isn't one of the options for me under analytics. I am on spaces. It's probably Brandon. Did you check that you've got permissions? If you can just check that you've got the permissions for the dashboard, that's super, super important. Okay, and Karina has answered that question. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so now let's go back into our page where now we're actually customizing the dashboard. Remember, this is where we're visibly looking at the dashboard. This is the page where we're designing the dashboard. Okay, what else do we want to see? We want to see service records per priority. This is actually a great example of a dashboard. You can have your service records overview. You can also see, for example, your top 5 end users. So this tile is called the highest value, and you can see who's got the most service records assigned to them. Okay, and and this is actually quite interesting. I actually didn't even notice that we had this until now. This is actually per end user. So, for example, maybe you've got a specific end user who submitted a lot of tickets. If we just do it per admin group, let's see how this changes. If it does change. Okay, now it's per admin group. Okay, so you can customize it. This is actually a really nice tile. You can even have exactly the same one over here. So we're going to pick the highest. Where was it? highest, and maybe we actually want to have another specific filter. Maybe we want to do it per, and you can give it a title. Let's do it per category, count per category. All right. And oh, I've obviously made a spelling mistake. You all know me by now. I always make spelling mistakes. Okay. Great. So we're doing per category. Let's just see. Let's submit it. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. And we've got per category and so forth. So this is a lot. It's really easy to create little dashboard views. What you can do is you can create a dashboard and make it visible to a specific group. So let's just say, for example, this specific dashboard that I just created, I only want it visible to a specific group. I can just put in the group, for example, IT support. Okay, and then say apply. I'm lucky, I'm in that group, so I get to see it. But and of course, I'm a SysAid admin, but you can make it visible to specific groups. Okay. I see some other questions. Can possible to categorize for each admin under a dashboard to see their own task? Absolutely, you can have if I'm understanding correctly, you can have where is it? Active service records, for example, in this tile, and you can have here per. It's going to be called per assigned to or process manager. I think it's process manager. Wait, hang on a second. Process manager. There we go. And let's just say, for example, it's John Smith, which is me. Create the filter. And it's this tile over here. And then submit. Obviously, you want to put in something that says John Smith. Okay, and submit it so you can see. Wait, where is my title? I'm not sure why it didn't save the name, but this is, but you can, and I'll obviously have to check why this didn't save the name title. Maybe I actually have to refresh the board and see it over here. Let's go into the Cindy Show board. Oh, here we go. There we go. It says John Smith. Okay, so obviously it can be seen, but I hope that answers your question. And you can literally, if you've got 6 administrators, you can literally have each tile based on how many open service records they have. Okay, let's have a look. Can we report on second and third subcategories? Absolutely, there should be the option. What do you want to see per category? You just want to see how many tickets per category. So let's have a look. I'm just going to I'll go to this tile in the middle over here. Okay, and let's see service records by category. So, and I'll just put in category over here. All right, and I'll keep it as all. You can create the custom filter. Maybe you wanted to also have it per admin group. How long do you want to see it? The last 7 days, the last 30 days? I'll do the last 7 days. Let's submit it. Let's go in. Let's refresh it over here. Let's go into the Cindy Show board. You can see this is my category and so forth. And again, you can click on. So this is how you can do it per category. How do you add the priority tile to my dashboard? So hope this answers your question. I think, Adam, I think it was you. This is the priority one. And it's called Service Records Overview. And I've grouped it by priority. Okay, so go into Service Records Overview, select that one and group it by priority. And put the filter, if you want the request time to be the last 30 days, if that's what you want. And then obviously submit it. I just want to let you guys take a screenshot if you want to. Again, we'll send you the recording. But that's how you would do it. This is the tile that you would use to see per priority. And again, don't forget to group it per priority. I'm loving all of these questions. Okay, I've already answered quite a few of these questions, and I see my team is also very responsive. Adam, did I answer your question? Hope I did. You can let me know. Chris, you don't see the tile unless you're in the normal view. Not exactly. Thank you, Chris. Great. Thank you, Adam. Okay, so I guess we don't have that much time left. I really want to, as always, please join me in my next session. My next session is going to be in 2 weeks. I'm posting the link here for you to register. Please take your time and register for the next session. Really, I've got like a lot of good feedback for the show, and I hope that it's helping you guys. And I obviously always appreciate the time that you guys take to be here. Please register for the next Cindy show. There's a few shows coming up. You can register for all of them. And of course, we've sent you previous recordings, so you guys have that as well. And I guess what can I say? But thank you very much to all of you for joining me today. If there's anything you can, I'm going to spare, we're still a little bit early, but if you'd like to request something to be covered in the Cindy show, please start typing it in the chat now. Thank you to my chat moderators. I hope you all found this very, very helpful. Thank you all for being here. I love that you all arrive. I love that you all engage. I appreciate it so much. Have a great day, everyone. And I will speak to you all again in 2 weeks. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.